At Levantage, our stance is simple. AI won't replace lawyers, but lawyers who use AI will absolutely outpace those who don't. The real question is, will your firm be rushed by it or quietly benefit from it? If you're a law firm owner and you feel overwhelmed by everything happening in AI right now, trust me, you are not alone. Every week, there's a new tool, a new headline, a new AI will replace lawyers prediction. And meanwhile, you're trying to run a firm. You're serving clients, managing your team, maybe trying to get home at a reasonable hour. Well, today we're going to discuss what is actually changing in the legal industry and what you can do to navigate this change at your firm. I'm Ty Brown, attorneypreneur and brand ambassador for Levantage AI Advisors. Every once in a while, something happens in this industry that makes you stop and say, okay, that's important. This is one of those moments. The Legal Tech Fund just announced its second fund, $110 million. That's nearly 4 times the size of their first fund. And no, this isn't just some big number for venture capital headlines. It's a signal that legal technology has reached a bit of a tipping point. What makes this announcement especially meaningful is who's backing it. We're talking about names that law firms already know and trust. Thomas Reuters Ventures, Clio, DocuSign, Burford Capital, and others. That kind of capital doesn't just move unless there's real confidence behind it, confidence that legal tech isn't experimental anymore. It's becoming core infrastructure. And at the heart of this fund are more than 80 founders who are building tools for a $1 trillion legal market. And they're not just chasing shiny features anymore. They're focused on fixing the everyday friction points that law firms deal with. Things like slow processes, a lot of manual work, manual entry, disconnected systems, clients who expect faster service. AI and automation are finally good enough and practical enough to make a real dent in those problems. Not to replace lawyers per se, but to get the busy work out of the way. If you run a small or mid-sized firm, this news isn't about venture capital, it's about momentum, and the tools are improving, the ecosystem is maturing, and again, all of this stuff is being built for firms like yours, and knowing how to use it is a bit of a challenge. More and more firms are quietly pulling ahead by using AI well, and at the same time, we know what usually happens next. Too many tools, no clear path, ethical concerns, systems that don't talk to each other, that kind of thing. And most firms don't need more technology. They're looking for clarity. And that's where an AI advisor comes in. It's where Levantage comes in. At Levantage, we handle the strategy and setup so you don't have to become a tech expert. A $110 million fund doesn't mean change is coming someday. It means it's already here. The real question is, will your firm be rushed by it or quietly benefit from it? If you're not sure how to reap the benefit, you might need an advisor like Levantage in your corner. And there's no shame in that. That's just good business. Let's dive a little deeper into how tech is changing the practice of law. AI is already reshaping how legal work gets done. We all know that. It's not necessarily replacing lawyers, but it is changing workflows and expectations and the role you play inside your own firm. We're seeing faster research, cleaner drafting, sharper summaries, smarter intake systems, better review processes, and better client experiences. So, if you're sitting there wondering, what does this mean for me? Or where do I even start? Or how do I do this ethically? Well, you're exactly who this video is for. At Levantage, our stance is simple. AI won't replace lawyers, but lawyers who use AI will absolutely outpace those who don't. And the shift is manageable, as long as you don't try to navigate it alone or tackle everything all at once. Let's talk about what's already happening inside firms, and this is firms of all sizes, small, medium, and large. Number one, a lot of routine automation. Things like document review, summarization, contract analysis, client intake. These are tasks AI handles extremely well. It's not perfect, it needs oversight, but it's fast, and it reduces human error. Number 2, enhanced legal research. Models can surface relevant cases and patterns in seconds. Does this replace legal judgment? Of course not. It simply gives you a sharper starting point. Number 3, predictive capabilities. Used cautiously, AI can identify risks, trends, and likely outcomes, not to make promises, but to help you be prepared. Number 4, adoption across the profession. Law schools are teaching AI literacy. I've been an adjunct professor at a law school before, and I can tell you they are looking to the future, and legal technology right now is the future of the practice of law. Even court systems are experimenting with AI tools. Major firms are building internal systems or partnering with vendors. And here's the good news. You don't really need to be a big firm. You don't need big law money to benefit. Even small firms, 2, 3 lawyers, maybe 10 lawyer firms, can see a lot of return on their investment within weeks if the right workflows are targeted. Let's talk about the real impact on law firms. Here's where AI really moves the needle. Number 1, efficiency and accuracy. Less time on repetitive admin, cleaner drafts, fewer errors. Your team is going to get hours of their time back, but you've got to put in a little upfront work. Number 2, new business models. This is one, we're just seeing this unfold before our eyes right now in real time. AI opens the door to alternative fee arrangements because lawyers finally have the margin to support them. Number 3, competitive pressure. Clients expect speed. They expect transparency. And the firms that adopt AI will consistently deliver a better experience for those clients. Number 4, ethical oversight. You heard me right on that. This part matters. AI doesn't remove your responsibility, it increases it. Oversight, bias awareness, confidentiality, governance, these are all non-negotiable areas of ethics for attorneys to manage. But none of this should scare you. Risk isn't a reason to avoid AI, it's a reason to implement it thoughtfully, and it's a reason to do it with a trusted partner. There is a new skill set for lawyers that has emerged. And this goes back to the law school comment a moment ago. I first need to start by clearing up a pretty major misconception. As a lawyer, you do not need to become a technologist. You don't need to code. You don't even need to understand model architecture, and you don't need to be an IT person. AI is really a natural language tool. So naturally, the masters of language should be the very best at using AI. You already have the skill set you need to succeed with AI products if you are a gifted orator or writer. That should be reassuring. It should make you excited about adopting technology. So you do need to understand a few things about technology, about these tools generally, in order to succeed. You need to understand their capabilities and limits, how to supervise AI ethically, which is something lawyers are already trained to do. Tech competence is now part of your ethical duty. Law schools are teaching it. Courts are adopting the systems. Your firm can't afford to ignore the shift. And at Levantage, this is really one of our core principles. AI adoption is a workflow change, not a tech experiment. Here's what AI ultimately offers when implemented properly, not as random tools, but as part of a system. Higher accuracy in drafting and review, faster research and better informed decisions, fewer late nights doing admin tasks, better client service, better outcomes, reduced burnout, stronger competitive positioning. Imagine buying back a couple of hours every single day. Imagine having a team that spends more time on strategy and less on busy work. Imagine feeling ahead of the curve instead of behind it. Let's be real, you're still going to feel behind it at times, but less so. Well, that's what we can help you build for your firm. All right, everyone always wants to talk about ethics. Lawyers love talking about ethical considerations, and a lot of times it's used as a bit of a scapegoat for not wanting to dive into the tools that are coming to serve law firms and our clients ultimately. Yes, there are real risks when it comes to ethics, but they can be managed with the right structure. Human oversight is mandatory. No one's arguing that you can implement tools without human oversight. Guardrails against bias can be implemented. That's part of the tech stack. Confidentiality protocols, yeah, they've got to be there. Vendor and data governance, avoiding over-reliance on generated content, you get the idea. Risk management isn't new to lawyers. You already do this every day. AI is just another extension of that skill into your workflows. This is an area where Levantage advisors spend a lot of time, ensuring your team is using AI safely, confidently, and ethically. Here's the part no one's talking about enough. What will actually change? Workflows, client expectations, speed requirements, junior roles shifting from drafter to more of a supervisor or strategist. I see all these things coming. Like we talked about earlier, there's going to be a difference in value delivery models, actual business models, because of the tech that's being deployed within law firms. But that doesn't mean everything's going to change. There are certain things that really are not going to change, and this should be a little bit reassuring for a lot of lawyers who feel like everything's changing too quickly, or that you might feel a little behind the eight ball at times. Here's a small list of things that are not going to change because of technology and AI. Judgment, strategy, advocacy, human connection. Your ethical responsibility is not changing. It's the same it's always been. AI augments what makes lawyers great. It doesn't replace you. Your job becomes more human, more strategic, and more client-focused, and less administrative. That's the payoff. Here's the bottom line. AI is a tool, not a threat, but the firms that thrive in the next decade will be the ones that adopt it intentionally, not reactively. The threat is increased competition, and your competition will be looking pretty hard at these tools and finding ways to make their firms better with them. You deserve clarity in navigating this change. You deserve a strategy that fits your practice. And you deserve a guide who can cut through the noise so your team doesn't waste time, money, or energy. If you want help understanding where AI actually fits into your firm, we're here to make that process simple, safe, and practical, without hype, without disruption. So book a call or DM me on Instagram. Let's build the next version of your firm together.